more you put it on, the darker it gets. If you want to create designs, you can do that. I'm going to teach you how to do a design, really easy. So you can do borders really fine. So I'm just going to take and make a bunch of tape lines. And again, this is dry so fast, the stained concrete job is going to go unbelievably fast for you. So the quick seal and enhance is the one we're going to do now. It's unique how it goes down. You get one choice only, and it has to be sprayed down with a pump sprayer because it dries so quickly. If you try to brush it or roll it, you couldn't possibly keep a wet edge. So you do need to mist it on, and that's a really important technique we're going to show you outside with the actual pump sprayer. But for lab purposes, I'm just taking a pre-valve sprayer. You can get these at Home Depot. Put your material in here. So I put quick seal and enhance in here, and then I poured a little bit of the powder to get a color. Okay. This has acetone in it. That's what that smell is. So I'm going to turn the thing on. This is loud. This is going to be loud. So what I'm going to do is you can't put this down in one application. In other words, don't puddle it. Okay. Mist it on in a fog layer. Very light fog, because if you puddle it, that surface dries so quick that below it didn't get dry. And it'll be wet underneath there, and it'll start forming bubbles. It could take 30 days for those bubbles to show up. So if you call me and go, oh, my coating all has bubbles, I know exactly what you did. You try to put it on in one coat. Don't do that. And the tendency is everybody wants to put it on one and done. This one, no. Okay? This is very specific. So I'm just going to fog it on. The reason I do this layered one, not just for the looks to show you what you can do, is to show you I'm just going to barely mist it on, and then I'm going to go over it again. So you can go over it and over it and over it until you get the desired look. Just don't puddle it. Okay? restaurant or whatever, and everybody's down in the time crunch, and you got the gardeners, landscapers there, and you just seal this and they hit it with water, right? What happens? They ruin it, right? But because we dry so fast, if we could keep them off for a minute, we can go ahead and it's water resistant already. So I didn't time a minute, we'll just kind of guess. Like watching a pot boil, right?
Yeah.
You sure it's not a minute yet? It's not a minute, I can tell by feeling. So what I'm going to do with traditional sealers, again, they all have acrylic in it. When acrylic gets wet, it turns white before it cures. There's zero acrylic in this. So if whatever you're coating gets wet before it dried, it's not ruined. Okay, that's key. And you can keep applying this and getting it darker and darker. And you can also adjust how much. We recommend 1 bottle per 3 gallons, but you can put 3 bottles for 3 gallons if you want. Or you can mix the colors and create your own color from that 20 color spectrum. So we know concrete's porous, right? Can everybody see this? So this side, obviously we didn't seal. Okay, watch. Watch how absorbent it is to start with. Can everybody see? Soaked right in on this side. Already. Everybody see that? Come over here. Soaks in. That's pretty quick. Again, you can just be artistic. You know, there's very, very, very fast. Garage floors, you know, create your family crest on your garage floor, whatever you want to do. All right, this is it. There is, okay? So it's rows. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid, it will go on absolutely clear. It's kind of just one of those weird things. So I'm going to spray it on. Again, this you have to spray because you cannot keep that wet edge. This you could roll on, but if you're going over a stain, you would smear it because you're adding solvent to solvent, right? So you would have to spray it. And you would use that pump sprayer. It goes so far, you need very little product for anything. Enough to spray on it. Once you use it, don't put it back in and you're making samples and cross-contaminate your product. So just take out a little bit and then throw it away if you don't use it all up. See that amber color? It could also be a gold, or it could even be a darker rose color even. And again, depending on the humidity and temperature. So sometimes if we open them, they're perfectly clear. Hang on when I do this again, but this product, the coating, it's 1 coat. Okay, you don't put more than multiple coats of concrete coat. It's 1 coat, 1 thin coat, but you still need to cover the surface. So we've had people not put enough, and then if you put too much, it's bad too. So it's this balance. You want it to go on about 2 to 2.5 mils. Let me get you the best way to do it. You know, we're gonna, with that pump sprayer like we showed you, just get it wet. If you see that wetness with this one, you're pretty much done. Have somebody, a spotter, like Mike and I work a lot together, he'll be putting it on, and I'll be saying, oh, a little light there, because I could see, you know, the lighting is not always perfect. So you just want to make sure it's wet, but not puddled. So a little bit of balance, but I'm going to show you, this is not going to take very much material. Don't underput it on, okay? And you're done. If you came back tomorrow and put another coat on, it would peel off. Nothing sticks to this now, okay? If you want to make it really non-slip, we would add recycled glass beads in here. And then it would be a rougher texture. about 4 times the ADA requirement or OSHA requirement. So it gets it up to about 2.4. Yeah. So if you have an area with a lot of water and slippery, put the glass beads in it, 45 micron, and it won't be slippery. 20%. So it's about,
I think it was a pound to 3 gallons or something like that.
1 pound per 3 gallons. It's like a powder. We'll open up a can and show you. Okay. That's it. So I want you to look at the wetness of this. It's just wet. Do you see that? That's what you want. You don't want a puddle. I don't want to do this and have just dry dull. But when you're first putting it down, you're putting it on wet, so you're looking at wet. Does that make sense?
Looks good.
Okay? So now, once this is dry, so this sealer that's under here, the quick seal, dries quickly. This, you're going to have to stay off of it for 4 or 5 hours. Then light traffic. Okay? Next day, pretty tough. 7 days full cure against a lot of acidic and harsh chemical application. So it's growing together. It takes, on a molecular level, we can't change it. Molecules take 7 days to completely grow together. Although this will have a very just light water, just like your car when it gets painted, they say don't go to the car wash for 3 weeks or whatever. 7 days. Okay, over the next 30 days, it gets harder and harder and harder. So let's say tomorrow you go, oh, I screwed it up. I got to take it off, sand it off, right? That's the only way you're going to get it off. You can sand it off tomorrow. In 30 days, good luck. Yeah, good luck. And I said, well, let's just do a pull test on it. Does everybody know what a pull test is? Okay, or an adhesion test. So you want to know if a coating is going to stick to something. So ours, again, is molecular, right? So there's no adhesive in it, so that's why I call it a pull test versus an adhesion test. But if the product that we apply to, it won't molecularly bond to, you can peel the coating off, right? Like on a high-density polyethylene, which would be a funnel, right? You'll have a residue of paint or whatever, but you can always peel it off really easily, right? Because it never bonds. And the traditional way of doing it is you take a knife, razor knife, and you cut through the coating in a crosshatch pattern. So what we would do is this close together. So hardly anything, and I can't get it to peel off because it is actually welded like it's supposed to on a molecular level and become part of the new surface. So I did a it's called crosshatch adhesion test. I put the tape on and the coating wouldn't come off. So it did bond to whatever